So thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, everyone. And feel free to get yourself a blanket, or if you have a meditation shawl, if you're cold, feel free to either keep your camera on or off. Just want you to be comfortable and know that you are supported. Thank you for joining us. My name is Alison, and I'm going to be guiding you through a short meditation this evening. And the meditation I'll be offering tonight is called Tonglen. Tonglen meditation. It is the practice of receiving and giving. I'll go into that just a little bit more and we'll practice it. But first, I'm going to invite everybody to start out with just a little bit of warming movement. So I'm going to encourage everybody to go ahead and sit up nice and tall, relax your shoulders down, and just take a little bit of warming for the hands. This is called palming. I always refer to this as a yoga trick. It's kind of like a little energizer, because it elevates our heart rate a little bit and increases our respiration. So just a little bit of energizing, warming to start. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really chilly where I am. All right, a little bit of light imaginary lotion. Just kind of rub some imaginary lotion on the hands. And now I'm going to invite you all to go ahead and just take one hand up high near your collarbone and one hand down low near your, like down below your navel. And aim to elongate your spine between the two hands. Let's roll those shoulders back and down one more time. And we'll take a cleansing breath. And it sounds like this. We breathe in through the nose if possible. And we breathe out through the mouth like that. Take one more with me, please. Now, I'm going to invite you to join me in a 4-2-6 breath. So let's just keep our spine long, our face as relaxed as possible. And I'm going to encourage you to just really dive in there and feel your natural breath as it is right now. We're just going to take a few rounds of 4-2-6 breathing. We're going to breathe into a count of 4. We're going to retain that breath for a count of 2, really softly, like with a soft smile on your face, not like that kind of thing. And then exhaling to a count of 6. This is just to try to get our nervous system a little bit more in balance before we go into our meditation. So let's begin. Let's all exhale first, deep breath into the nose, and then cleansing breath. Now breathing in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again, in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, again, in, pause, out. Doesn't feel right? Do what's right for you. Let's do one more. In, pause, out. Okay, now settle into natural breath. Just feel your natural breath. Your involuntary breathing, we're not doing anything to change it. So Tonglen meditation, I learned it from a dear friend, meditation guru, Dr. Jean Hauser. And I think this is a particularly beneficial type of meditation for when you're feeling really angry, stressed, agitated. But it's also lovely when the universe is rolling the red carpet out. So anyway, what I'm going to encourage you to do is Think of the in-breath in this way. We're going to be receiving, taking in, touching our hearts with whatever particular strong emotion you're dealing with lately. I invite you to bring that in on an in-breath, with the in-breath having the texture or quality of darkness, heaviness, if it's a difficult emotion. And we're bringing that in, and we're allowing ourselves to actually touch our own hearts with that awareness of how we feel. And then I particularly like the idea of when you breathe that in, and you can really follow with pure awareness its inward path to touching your heart, as if it is going to make your heart expand. What we breathe out then is the opposite. So we might breathe in a feeling of distress, touch our heart with awareness of that, and then we send out relief. We might breathe in a sense of heaviness or anger or fear, and we breathe out a spaciousness and a lightness. Okay, so I encourage you to use this. You might even have a felt sensation of when you touch your heart with that pure awareness of that emotion, that it just makes your heart grow and become spacious, so that you might send out a completely transformed energy. Okay, so I'm going to get a little warmer. I invite you to do the same thing. All right. Make sure your knees are down lower than your navel if you're sitting in a chair or on a bench. And those of you who can sit cross-legged comfortably, certainly do that. I've even got my fuzzy slippers on. All right, here we go. We're going in, everybody. Long spine, shoulders back and relaxed. Feeling the hip and pelvis in neutral. You're not leaning backward and slouching, and you're also not anteriorly tilting forward. Feel the head almost like it's weightless. When the spine is elongated, you really don't have to use a lot of muscle in the neck to support the head. Okay, so feel that elongated spine, shoulders resting down away from your ears, and your face as relaxed as you can get it. It's helpful to actually, and I'm not going to do this on camera, but to stick your tongue way out, and like you can tilt your head back and stick your tongue way up toward the ceiling, all with that, and let it pull back in and relax, and that can really relax your jaw if you feel any tension there. All right, everybody. Taking a moment to consider a strong emotion that you have been dealing with. Maybe you've had a lot of them, different ones. Pick one, name it, and then begin breathing that emotion in. Breathe it in. Let it touch your heart. Create an expansive quality to the heart. Send it back out as an exhale with transformed energy. Stay with the same emotion for a moment. If when you're inhaling that emotion to your heart, You need to allow a little space for the heart to kind of soften and open. Let that be what you felt on perhaps on that little pause in our 4-2-6 breath work we did earlier. I invite you to open your eyes. Consider now how you might place your hands to assist you as we continue. Hands down in the lap is a very grounding choice. You know, if you're feeling all over the place, sometimes like calm down, putting the hands down in this kind of way is a calming and grounding influence. Conversely, when you're feeling too grounded and earthy, sometimes palms up can generate the opposite feeling, that feeling of being receptive, being open. Okay, some of you might have a strong desire to place your hands over your heart. Okay, or even keeping a hand at the heart and a hand at the belly. Please choose what feels right to you as we continue. I invite you to think of somebody in your life who you would love to send transformed energy to. Maybe this person, and let's select someone other than ourselves now. So maybe this person is somebody who's really suffering with something lately, and perhaps this person's no longer living. Thinking of a person that you would love to take in, receive some of that suffering, transform it with your spacious heart, send it out as relief to that person. I invite you to do this now. As the vagus nerve responds, you might find the sensation to swallow, yawn. Invite that all. Now we'll move to all people. It's kind of big, so if it feels too heavy, stick with working on your own strong emotions or the feeling of wanting to receive the distress of another person that you know well. and sending out transformed energy. If you would wish to try world suffering, it's big, maybe too big, and that's okay. I invite you to try that. As we breathe in, that texture, that quality of heaviness, the suffering that we see around us, we touch it with our own kindness and compassion, spacious heart, and we send it out, transformed. I invite you to open your eyes, and we'll finish our meditation with just a short, I'm going to discuss just in a little short discussion about Tunglen and the value it has for transforming our energy and helping us to create wellness. So you might have noticed that when you were focusing on your own strong emotions, that hopefully you could create that felt sense of the awareness of that emotion and how it touched you, and you could embrace it and transform it and send it back out, lighter, more spacious. You may have noticed that when you did that for a person that you thought of, that you knew, felt a lot the same. And perhaps if you felt like your shield was strong enough to take in the suffering that we see around us in the world, and it's okay if you didn't, and if you're going through a lot where you probably need to focus on your own strong emotions, then that's so fine. But if you noticed in doing the kind of collective suffering and bringing it in, that it felt a lot the same as the other two, it's because we're all connected. You cannot separate self from other or other from self. And that is really the goal of all contemplative practices, to see self in other and other in self. So I want to just close by saying thank you so much for joining tonight, but I also would love to remind you that tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. And there will be a virtual event all day tomorrow. Feel free, please jump on and check out the virtual event where our wellness participants will be sharing their stories on live on Facebook and on the website. So please jump in, and please consider Unite for Her in your Giving Tuesday. It is so important, as all of you on here probably know and could attest to. So I hope you remind your friends about Giving Tuesday and Unite for Her tomorrow as well. Thank you for joining me. I wish you all the very best.